Hello everyone, Mr. Happy here and welcome to Final Fantasy Bestiary. This series is dedicated towards discovering the history and lore behind Final Fantasy's most iconic creatures and characters. This episode, we will look at Flans. Flans are a creature that any Final Fantasy fan will recognize. This gelatinous beast is present in almost every Final Fantasy game to date. And just like most other creatures in the series, it draws its inspiration from some real-life object or myth. So what does the deadly Flan draw its inspiration from? Well, dessert. Yeah, Flan is, and I quote, open pastry or sponge cake containing a sweet or savory filling, unquote. This is meant to be a play on the jelly-esque body Flans possess, though the Flan may not be the best example of this. They have other names, such as the pudding, the custard, jellies, mousse, beverage, marshmallows, aspect, all of which are different types of desserts. There are some named after other foods and the occasional ooze or slime, but Flan is generally the name of the entire species. Outside of being a dessert, the Flan is an amorphous being possessing eyes and a mouth, sometimes having arms as well. They have a strong affinity with the elements and magic, often being capable of casting incredibly powerful spells. Many Flans attune themselves to a specific element and are only able to use that element's spells, while also opening them up to that element's weaknesses. With their jello-like bodies, they are also mostly resistant to physical damage, thus making magic the best means of dealing with them. Flans have almost no meaningful impact in any of the stories in the Final Fantasy series, with the developers being more interested in seeing how many different kinds of desserts they can fit into the game. The Flans take on an odd appearance in Final Fantasy I, appearing more like a gelatinous mess hanging from the ceiling. It wasn't until Final Fantasy II that they became these kind of blobs, the ones we recognize from the series. From this point on, the species began to appear in almost every Final Fantasy game on the market, oddly only being excluded from Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy VII did have a creature similar, the Hecdies, though that creature does contain some noticeable differences as well. Now what the hell, when am I ever going to get the chance to talk about the Hecdies otherwise? The Hecdies is another Final Fantasy creature that takes on a blob-like form. Unlike the Flan, however, the Hecdies' entire body is covered in eyes. This is of course a play on their name, Hect Eyes, which means 8 eyes, though they have far more than 8 present on their body. This enemy only appears in a handful of titles, such as Final Fantasy II, 5, 7, and 9. Though of course they appear in 11 and 14 as well, the interesting case is Final Fantasy 12, where the Hecdies is actually considered a member of the Flan family. Back to the Flans, the only one of them that ever had a major story impact was in Final Fantasy 13-2. A dragon known as the Feral swallowed an item known as the Black Hole Gem, which causes anything it eats, primarily mini-Flans, to be transported to another point in time. These mini-Flans get sent to the Sunleth waterscape in the year 300 AF, where they begin merging together to create the Royal Ripeness, a super powerful Flan that is eating away at the Pillar of Cocoon, threatening it to fall. By defeating Feral, the Royal Ripeness can be reduced to a mutant tomato, making it really easy to deal with. Should the Royal Ripeness be defeated without defeating the Feral first though, a time paradox will give birth to a Flan so powerful that it conquers the world, resulting in Sarah, Noel, and Mog attempting to feed it a poisonous Flan in order to kill it. Other than this one relevance, the Flan is just one of the most basic and most memorable creatures in the Final Fantasy series. It's an enemy we can all recognize immediately and usually decipher what its weakness will be fairly quickly. Square Enix throws us a curveball once in a while, especially with the Jumbo Flan in Final Fantasy X, which actually absorbs magic and is immune to physical attacks as well. Overall, it's just nice seeing this enemy make its recurring appearances, and I look forward to seeing how combat with them plays out in Final Fantasy XV especially. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like, favorite, subscribe, and share, and check out the playlist in the top right corner where that little exclamation mark is to watch more Bestiary videos. Anyway, thanks again, and until next time, take care.